Welcome back to the channel. I'm here today to bring you all my thoughts, the up-to-date news and everything around the sale of Manchester United. It was 11 months ago that the Glazers basically mentioned that they were open to finding other revenue streams, they would be open to selling a portion of the club, yada, yada, yada. All these different stories come out, and I think I speak for a large portion of the fan base where we wanted and we expected a full sale of the club. Unfortunately, it's become very, very evident over the last 48, 72 hours that that is not the case. The news has broke that Qatar, following a $6 million final bid for the full club, have been rejected. Just to put that into terms of the market value of the club and where we stand, the club has been valued at $3.2 billion. Sheikh Jassim basically put a bid in for almost double that. The Glazers, through what I can only explain as egotistical greed, have decided that that is not what they want. And I've just been on a podcast where I heard other versions of events and some positivity around it, but nobody could actually give me something positive apart from, well, the Glazers, it's a stepping stone to the Glazers leaving. As of 3 days ago, the Glazers could have left. The club would have had an astronomical amount of investment, not only on the pitch, but more importantly, the stadium, the training facilities and the local community around both Carrington and Old Trafford. These are parts of the club that have just been forgotten about. And one of the things that's really irritating me about Manchester United at the moment is that the fact that the UK have the Euro Championships coming up, they've won the bid for the Euros, and Old Trafford is not one of the clubs that will be hosting these matches. When Wembley was built, England were playing games at Old Trafford, and we have fell so far behind. Whether it be 5, 6, 7, 8 clubs in the UK, we have fell that far behind them that we will not be hosting of events. And it's. I'm sorry. I'm speaking. I'm not emotional, but I'm really, really pissed about this decision. And I understand it from the Glazers because I understand business and I understand greed because I've met a lot of greedy people in my line of work, in work that I've done previously. And you'll always find those egotistical maniacs, if you like. And the Glazers have proved it with this deal that they are not accepting both a win-win-win situation, because the win-win situation would be for the fans, a full takeover, investment in the club, a long-term United fan coming in with unlimited amount of money and the promise of $1.8 billion being pumped into the local facilities, into the stadium. They've now decided that a 25% ownership stake, of which around 12%, 10 to 12% will be from the stock exchange. And the Glazers will still hold, it's been worked out at around 56, 57% of the business. They're not leaving, they've not left. And I've just had a podcast debate and a little bit of a conversation on the Devil's Advocate with Johnny, great guy, speaks a lot of sense. But I didn't see where the benefits was, and he kept saying, but it's a stepping stone to the Glazers leaving, and that's what the fan base want. It might be a stepping stone, but we had the final hurdle on the plate yesterday, 2 days ago, which has been ignored. If the Glazers wanted to leave the club, they would have done it. They would have done it with this offer that was double the market value and also the best for the football club. They didn't do that. They've not done that. I don't believe for 1 second any reports that state that, but it's a stepping stone and the Glazers within 5 years might sell. They're just trying to get a little bit more money. This is a business that is not increasing in price. It will obviously increase in terms of football increases, everything grows. What it is they want to drain the money out year on year. So anybody thinking that Jim Ratcliffe coming in is going to clear the debt, it's not going to happen. Anybody thinking that he's going to come in and somehow find $1 billion to improve Carrington and $1 billion to improve Old Trafford, that's not going to happen. These things aren't going to happen. His investment is not equal to that amount, so why would he then invest on things off the pitch? It makes no sense as a fan for us to get behind this decision. And yes, we can try and be positive, and yes, we can say, oh, but the light is at the end of the tunnel now. And I'm sorry, it's bollocks. It's all total bollocks. The offer was on the table, and unfortunately, it's been snatched away from us, the fans. And there's been lots of talks about the club, the workers in there, some of the staff, that they wanted the full takeover because they wanted someone to come in and basically give this new approach and everything like that. And the word is, and let's give it, the slight positive I can think of is that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is going to come in and take over. Morally, in my heart, says Jim Ratcliffe is a great fit for the club. I'm a Failsworth lad. He's from Failsworth, spent 10 years of his life there before moving, I think, to Leeds and to school, and then becoming pretty much a self-made billionaire. And my heart does say, yeah, let's back him, let's give him everything. But the backbone of the club is still the Glazers. All they've done is get a new arm, a couple of new arms, or a new set of eyes, a new set of ears, if you like, and the senses are just developing. But let's Jim Ratcliffe is a businessman. He wants ownership of United, and he's coming probably towards the end of his working career, if you like. He's almost 70 now. He might think it's probably a bit of a game for him. We've seen it with Todd Bowley coming in at Chelsea. It was a bit of a game for him. There's no reason why Jim Ratcliffe doesn't come in and it's a bit of a game for him. That he comes in, he's later in life, he's got all this money that he's worked very hard for. And don't get me wrong, I own my own business, and he's somebody that I look up to and go, geez, he's made it. He's get to where anybody who's an entrepreneur wants to get to. So him as a person, I look up to. I think very positive things. But as a football club, this isn't an acceptable process that we've been through and that we're now working towards. So yeah, I want to hear your thoughts, and obviously this is going to develop again over the next couple of weeks, because it's going to go to board for the Ratcliffe, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, what he's going to come in as. So that's going to go to the board. That's going to get voted in. We'll more than likely see Paul Mitchell come in as the director of football, which would have happened anyway. I think no matter who came in and took over, whether Jim Ratcliffe took 5%, 15%, 25%, 30%. If Sheikh Jassim would have come in and took over 100%, I think that bit of business would have been done anyway. So it's going to be lots of coming up. There's going to be lots of news. I want to hear your opinions, because I do want to engage with people on this topic. I want to hear other points of view. I'm happy to jump on Zoom with somebody, happy to sit down with anybody who wants to have this conversation in more detail. I don't claim to know everything about it, but as somebody who lives in Qatar, knowing the amount of money that these guys have, but also what they want to do with their money, the vision for Qatar and the Qatari people who are at the top end of the society here in this country, these are people that want to be seen on a world stage doing good. We've seen the World Cup, and it was held in Qatar, it was held here, and it was a fantastic showpiece, despite the mainstream media trying to throw basically shit at it on a regular basis. That's not what we see him as people that were here, people who visited here. I was speaking to journalists off the record, on the record, and they were only saying positive things. They want to be seen as a positive light, and Sheikh Jassim coming into Manchester United would have had a positive light. There's so many things that we can deliberate on of the reasons why the Glazers have done it, the greed I've mentioned on. I also believe that there's an element of politics to it, of the US people high up not wanting to relinquish kind of power and be bought out by somebody from the Middle East. I do believe that will play a factor. I think the sly digs that Sheikh Jassim has basically done, saying that he's going to take them back to where they should be. He knows there's been recent issues, and he wants to take the club forward. But so yeah, it's going to be an ever developing story. The proof's going to be in the pudding. Only time will tell. You can come up with all these different metaphors, all these different sayings, or everything to basically see where we get to as an end product. And I want to engage with you guys. I want you to give me your opinions, and I want to address those opinions and move forward with this. And I just want to see the club in good hands. And I think most Man United fans will say, a change is as good as the rest. We want to see this change. this isn't the change I wanted to see. And unfortunately, I see a few more dark times before I see bright times. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it on that. I hope you found this a little bit informative and passionate, because I do feel passionate about this case, and this is something I'll be following up on. So yeah, thanks for your time, and hope to speak to you soon.